Okay, I think we got it this time. What up, people? Cobradad back up in this bitch. I got the beanie on. All right, so it's another live vid. I wanted to I wanted to feature my Genesis and Nintendo Entertainment System collection. I'm watching the Game Chasers. Um, they're pretty cool, and they got a lot of videos up right now. So there, you can watch it for all day long, and they're pretty cool. Anyway, so we'll start off with my Genesis collection. Sega Genesis is one of my favorite collections. Excuse me. Yeah, favorite collection and favorite system as a child. My mom was a Sega fan. Never had a Nintendo. She always had a Sega or a Genesis. She had a Sega early, but then mainly Genesis all the time. I'd go to her house after I moved out, and she'd always have a Genesis for the boys, for my sons, and they would always play Genesis there. And she would just always keep a Genesis. Even when my first son was small, I would go there. She'd still have a Genesis for herself because she liked a lot of Sega games. Mostly shooters, like the top-down shooters. She loved those, and of course Sonic. But in the 80s, we had the Sega Master System, and it was because my mom and stepdad used to go to the Fisherman's Wharf arcade in San Francisco, and they'd play arcade games, and the arcade games were Sega games, like Space Harrier, Afterburner, uh, yeah, and other games. They love Burger Time too, so we had it in television. Uh, So I would always ask for a Nintendo, of course, because everybody had Nintendo. Plus, that's the games I liked. And for Christmas, we did not get an NES. We got a Sega Master System, and they played it that night. We didn't get a turn. Long story. Anyway, um, I used to love that Sega, and I used to be out of all of us in the house. My mom, stepdad, my little brother, and I had to play last. My turn on the system was last in the games. I had to wait till everybody was done, usually about an hour or so. And then they would let me have at it. Because when I got my hands on the controller, I wasn't giving it up. These guys would play, you play, you die, you pass it. Well, I wouldn't die. And so they would always say, Juan has to go last because he takes so long. Also, my mom would complain that I would get so upset when I would lose, rage quit. But she didn't get the fact that you only had one, two continues, three lives, and you had to memorize the whole game to get to the boss. And then he kicked your ass and snatched up your continues and guys. And, you were pretty upset. I never got to beat that game because my mom made me stop playing it because I would get so upset at the last boss. Because it seemed like he was just ultimate, like, boom, 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 done. Okay? Boom, 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 done. Oh, there goes my continue. All that hard work. So, there was a game, it was a Kung Fu game on the Sega Master System. I forget the actual name, but I'll probably pick it up because I do have a Master System now. My son got it for Christmas. So yeah, she loves Sega, so she always had a Genesis. Rest in peace, moms. And I actually have two of her Genesis right now. The Model 1 and the Model 2 that I got from her apartment. She passed away. And those are my Genesis that I have right now. Um, they're packed up. So cool. Yeah, they mean a lot to me because it's like my mom loved those. So we'll start off with out of box Genesis games. And we have, starting off with Joe Montana Football. I played this a few times. It's your average football game for the time. What was cool is that it was Joe Montana. I remember other sports games. Well, mainly NBA. There was no Jordan because he would not. I think maybe it was because it was a Nike thing or something like that. And then, of course, Altered Beast. One of my all-time favorite games. I loved this in the arcade when it came out. I was so blown away when you got that third power up and it was just like, bruh, and you turn into these monsters or whatever animal characters. When I remember I lived in Oakland at the time, and I think it might have been a laundromat, and I dipped in there and there were some kids playing it, and I seen that happen. The kid turned into the wolf, and it did that little scene, and it was amazing to me. Like, dude, I wanted to be Altered Beast. I wanted to turn into a wolf. I was like, bro, that was so sick. So Altered Beast is the ish. Who doesn't like the NBA Jam? Big Mama Jamma, Jamma Jamma Rama. Okay, this game is really good. Rocket Knight Adventures. Um, this is a live vid, so I don't have any like game footage or any cuts to it. I probably could have did a better in-depth like that video, but I just figured I'd just jump on and do one of these. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Um, Shout out to my subscribers, all 43 of you. Hope you guys are enjoying how I'm getting down. Okay, Rocket Knight Adventures. Like I said, it's a 2D scroller, and it changes to like a shoot 'em up in some levels. It's good. It's really good. The graphics are still good. Still holds up. I'm not sure if there's any sequels, but this would be nice for. This would be a great remake. All right, movie-based game. We have Dracula, Keanu Reeves, and what's her name? Winona Ryder. I had a huge crush on her in high school. She was in this movie called Great Balls of Fire, and I had a huge crush on her. Anyway, the good old bundled version of Sonic, not for sale. Pac-Man 2 New World Adventures. I've never played this. I picked this up with a few games from a friend of mine. Long time ago. He just I had bought. I think I had like on a whim. It's like 10 years ago way before I got into collecting. Just on a whim, I bought a 64 just to have a 64. Who wouldn't want one? And just so I could have Mario Kart and things like that. And I remember back in those days, I had a chat called the Bud Bros, and one of the guys in that chat, his name was ODJ, and he was like, "Yo, I have some games in the cuts," and so we made a little deal, and like super cheap, like $20 or so. And if he's watching, he'll remember, and he hooked it up. And now today, 10 years later, it's a fucking great deal. The games I got out of it is pretty dope. So, excuse me. Sorry about that, guys. And actually, this is one of the games there too. It's what is this called? Something Vikings. Can't see the label. Sorry, guys. I'm getting old and my eye. The Lost Vikings. Seriously, my eyes are not bad, but they are kind of. I can notice the difference from because the reason I know my eyes are changing is because I'm used to I'm used to seeing things easily all my life. Great eyesight, and now it's a little bit tougher. So 42 going on 43. I guess these things happen. So the Lost, this one's cool because you get the three Vikings, and then you switch in between them to figure out puzzles and how and navigate through the levels, the levels. Another movie-based game, Cliffhanger. I've never played this. This is another one of those that I got from him, but I like that movie, so it's cool. And like I said, it was like a cool bundle that I got, and was like, oh, cool, I got all these games for my Genesis. So classic Miss Pac-Man. I play this for hours and hours at my mom's house. She loved Miss Pac-Man. My mom and my stepdad would get drunk and play Burger Time and Miss Pac-Man. And they would be in there having a blast. I would remember hearing them laughing, and they sucked. I would come in, they sucked. They didn't give a fuck though. They would just have fun playing games. And they would get a kick out of it. They got a whole kick out of the not putting a quarter in it and having it in the house. Like I said, they played arcade games that you pumped a quarter in. Now it's in the house. It's playing for free. It was almost like you were stealing from the game company because now I could play it as much as I want. So, like VHS tapes back in the day, I remember my stepdad bought Top Gun on VHS for $90 when it came out. Or right the day it came out. Because back then, movies did not come out. It was crazy to have a movie. It was like, dude, this is from the movies. Like every time you watched it, it was almost like you cheated them out of admission. So anyway, that it was just like amazing to have a movie from the theaters in your home, able to watch it anytime. Like, oh shit, Top Gun. And believe me, we watch Top Gun all the fucking time, boy. Never close your eyes anymore when I kiss your lips. Alright, Mortal Kombat 2, the label's a little scuffed on this, but that's because it came out somebody's collection. And that means it got used. Great game, man. I mean, what can I say? No code for blood. You got the animalities. You got the fucking fatalities. The roster was bigger. Great game. I mean, another game that was in arcade at my day, and you could have it at home. Like I said, it was kind of cool not having to put a quarter in. You know what I mean? It paid for itself. Excuse me. I smoked the cannabis, and I put a tobacco in it. So I noticed since I've been doing that, I got a really bad like hagaloogie. Okay, so Paperboy on Genesis. Come on now. Now I remember this more from the NES. I don't really remember playing this on Genesis, but I can imagine this version's probably better than the NES, seeing how the Genesis is 16 bits. Another not for resale, Sonic 1. Okay, now we're coming upon. Oh, I don't remember where I got this, and I'm not sure how I got this. Probably a con pickup that either Andrew did because before I started. He's been into this gamer thing a little bit solid than me with the con aspect. But Mario, this is Olympic gold. I have no idea what this is. I assume it's like probably some Olympic games, swimming and whatnot, where you probably mash the buttons or I don't know. Now this is a good one, Alien 3. This side-scrolling shooting Alien 3. I'm pretty sure you guys, if you guys are watching this, you guys are gamers, you know Alien 3. It's sick. Wow, another copy of Lost Vikings. I don't know where I got that second one. And I'm gonna say creator bless. Thank you, creator, for blessing me with those copies out of nowhere. Mortal Kombat 3. Once again, blood, fatalities, babalities, brutalities, pumped up roster, no quarters, booyaka, Power Rangers, the movie. So this is actually a movie-based game. Not bad. I got a thing for movie-based games. Uh, I started it last year. My wife kind of like just on a whim. We watched Rain of Fire, and then we went to a game store. I'm not going to mention because I don't go there anymore. And we seen the game Rain of Fire, and we're like, holy shit! And it just I went from there. I was like, yo, GameCube movie-based games, and I got a ton. So if you're interested in checking them out, you can look at couple of my previous videos. I have those collections up. So let's move on. Street Fighter 2 Special Championship Edition. Okay, we all know this is a great game. I preferred my Street Fighter on the SNES. Some reason on Genesis, it just didn't click for me, and I never went and like tried it. Maybe I should give this a run and see how I just it just didn't click. Um, a lot of the Genesis 3 button shit was kind of to me. I didn't. It just was like 3 buttons. You need your RNLs for the run and block, and you want all four. The high kick, the low kick, the high punch, the low punch. That's complete move sets. Not pressing a combination of A and B and back, and anyway, when they came with the 6 button, things became a lot doper. So the championship edition, another thing for me, Street Fighter at home, no quarters. I pumped in a ton of quarters. I got my ass kicked over Street Fighter. Used to go do the laundry for was one of my chores, and my mom would give me say 2 loads of laundry, enough for the machines for the wash, and then enough to dry. And I started skimming off the top. I would take a quarter off of each dryer. Whoop. And if you got 3 dryers, you got 3 quarters. And you go across the street while the other clothes are in the dryer. You play you some Street Fighter 2. Now, if you had the skill as I did at the time, 3 quarters you're beating the game easily, easy. Because I was at the time. I mean, I'm not trying to brag, but at the time, I'm running to M Bison on a quarter or two. I mean, I was pretty good, and so 3 quarters would get you to Bison, and then you get to continue on that fuck. And usually, I could beat it. Not all the time, but I'd give it a good 65, 69%. And so I would do that when I fucking would do it. So the clothes would come home a tad bit damper than they should been. They should have been completely dry, and they would be damp. And my mom would be like, why are they damp? I don't know, blah, blah, blah. And she caught on and was just like, something's going on here. And one day I'm throwing Hadoukens, and get a tap on the shoulder, and my mom. So, busted. Uh, get home and take the good old ass whooping, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's a Street Fighter. That's what I'm saying. For me to have Street Fighter at home was great. Because I did a lot to play Street Fighter. I used to cut school to play Street Fighter. There was always a Street Fighter in every fucking 7-Eleven, and we had a lot of 7-Elevens in my town. Liquor stores, laundromats. We had the basic town shit that has on every block. You got a fucking laundromat. You got your Mickey D's. You got your Taco Bells. You got your fucking pizza spot. You got your groceries. You get it. You get what I'm saying. And at that time, Street Fighter 2 was in every fucking 7-Eleven you can speak of. a quarter. So I played it a lot. I played it a lot. I used to be able to go from one end of the the screen to the other end of the screen without missing a skip on dragon punches. Shuriken, 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 boom, 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 boom. I had a friend that taught me, um, told me one time he was an Asian kid, and the Asian kid he was sick, man. He was dope, and he was one of the mall arcade kids. You know, they played it down there where the real that was that was that was the real shit. You go down there, you're gonna get your ass kicked. He told me one time, when you can learn to do that, you'll be unstoppable. And what he meant was, you gotta learn how to do a dragon punch, a shuriken, on a whim. And if you can learn to do that, you'll be able to hit. It's unblockable. So every time somebody jumps at you, shuriken, boom, and then you could start from there. And on at that version of the game, you were pretty unstoppable if you could do that. So I could defeat the car with just short shurikens, and that was dope. Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter, the Genesis. All right, Sonic Pinball for the Genesis. Now, I never played this on the Genesis. I played this for the first time. It was a Sonic Collections on the GameCube. And I remember at the time I was driving cab, and I would come home. I was locally driving, so when it was slow, I would come home and fucking play pinball, Sonic Pinball on my GameCube. I had the Platinum GameCube, which I still have to this day. That um, I was a PlayStation 2 guy, and when the GameCube came out, I wasn't with it. I didn't like it at all, and I was kind of all the way Sony after that. Like I wasn't really fucking with it's starting to get hot with Nintendo anymore, you know. And so I skipped on the GameCube. I slept on it. And then when a little bit later, it became really cheap, and it was a bundle. It was like Monkey Ball and Andrew. I don't know. Andrew might know. Monkey Ball and something else on GameCube. It probably a Mario title. Andrew,
What?
what was the two games that came with our original GameCube?
It was the
Monkey
Monkey
Ball,
Ball and Spyro. Enter the
Spot,
Dragonfly.
Whammo. Whoo! So, um, it was still in the store selling when I got the GameCube, and then it blew my mind. That I was like, "Oh!" And then I'm like, "Wait a minute! I love Nintendo. This is a Nintendo. This isn't a GameCube. This is a Nintendo." And I just, that's dope. So yeah, we still got our original GameCube, which is cool because out of like all the systems I've ever had in my life, that's one of the ones I can say, along with our Wii, is our original consoles that we didn't lose in storage or get thrown away or sold at a garage sale for $90. I had sold my Power Glove, my Rob the Robot, a bunch of games, and a Nintendo garage. I threw my own garage sale one day, $90. Took the $90 and bought a bunch of comics. My mom was pissed, but she didn't buy the Nintendo and she didn't buy the games. My mom liked to control a motherfucker, so she was on some. You didn't get my permission. Yeah, yeah, yeah. La verga, bitch. Rest in peace, moms. But that's how I felt at the time. So, okay, that is Genesis pack, out of pack, out of the box, and there's more. I have more. So Genesis in box. Let's see. These are a few. These are games that Man Dude bought. Mario, Andrew, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 complete. Okay, back to pinball. Um, I never beat it, but at one point, I was at the point where you learned how to get through each level, because you had to open up certain things by going up certain ramps, and then I had it down to where I could get to the last level pretty easily. It just takes so much time, and then I would get to that level, and then I get a call, and I had to bounce, and then I just kind of lost interest with the whole thing. Like, fuck it, I'm done, and I still haven't went back and done that since. But I love playing me some Sonic Pinball. Alrighty, I don't think this one's complete. Complete, baby. Ultra Beast. Okay, that Ultra Beast is here. Is this one? That means it's in this pile because I was playing it. You feel me? Ultra Beast in box. My son bought that. He knows I'm a fan. He likes it. MK in box. Not complete. We need a manual. Anybody out there with the manual, hit me up. Matter of fact, I'm going to be on a hunt for a manual for that now. Strider, another game my son picked up at a con. Complete. Manual looks a little beat, but Strider, come on. Okay, this was at SACCon, which was dope. I met Radical Reggie there, and he actually was gangsta enough to be featured in in the video from that. Shout out to Radical Reggie. Speaking of the Metal Militia crew, I'm going to hopefully meet these. Daisy, can you please be quiet? I'm trying to do a video. Come here, baby. Don't bark. There's a stupid dog next door that barks. They open the door and it barks. And Daisy wants to eat that dog because it pisses her off. So she'll bark back, being a dog that she is. Now I'll tell her be quiet, and she tries her best. So she'll be like, and she'll still be growling. So I'm not gonna really fuck with her. If you guys can't hear it, it's kind of too bad. She lives here too. This is her home. She wants to bark. She's gonna fucking bark. Alright, so this is X-Men I got for $6. It was $10. It was mostly $10 everywhere around. We did like 4 loops around, and then this was like my last $6. The guy was really cool. This is in my retro trio right now because I have 3 games that keep in there, so I can just be like bing 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 at all times, which is Super Metroid, and this bad boy here. I switch up the roster all the time, but those are dope. I got a CRT TV right here, and it's hooked up. My retro joint is hooked up to it. And sometimes I'll be chilling and just fucking watching. I'll put it on and just let it dun 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 bing bong dun dun Metroid. I just let that fucking play. But this game is really good for that because it does all 4 characters. It does the cool little jump in intros, and then it shows them a little bit of level on all 4 characters over and over. So seriously, as some background joint, like I should just put that bitch on right now, but as some background foreground sound, it's sick. And when my shop actually opens, when I do touch down to my shop, I plan on doing that, like putting a TV on a spot and letting it play with 2 controllers and like a time limit. If I get a lot of kids in there, I'll put a time limit so other little homies can get turns. But basically, you can come in and play. There'll probably be a library of games for free, and as long as you're not getting on my fucking nerves, you probably can just kick it all day. But that's not open right now. One of these days, it will be. So let's continue. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 not complete. I need a manual for that. That shouldn't be too tough. Alright, so thank you guys if you're watching so far. It's a half hour. And if you ask me, I got a pretty solid Sega Genesis collection. There's always going to be more. There's always more games, Actually, I'm missing to show you Beavis and Butthead complete in box, but it's boxed up, so that's why. Let's move on. Okay, so my NES collection. These guys are kind of getting on my nerves. Let's do this. Exit. Let's see if we can do this. This is cool about Comcast, Infinity, whatever shit. Exit out. Right? And then I'll go to the Warrior game. Nice. Oh, versus the Lakers. Very well. Let's go to that. It's over. It's already 10 o'clock. So let's see. Oh, it was because I had it tuned to that. It'll always go to a Warrior game whenever I'm watching TV. Once the Warrior game comes on, and then I can just hit it. Okay, back to what I was doing. YouTube 8-bit video game mix. Sorry, guys. Live video, live video. Here we go. All right, so we got some Zelda joints going. All right, so let's continue. Simon's Quest, Castlevania 2. What can I say? The worst one? The whole going into the shops and shit and coming out and looking for fools. That whole little aspect. I'm good. Okay, another game I pumped quarters in as a kid in San Francisco. Kung Fu. I would spam the fuck out of that kick button. Whoa, 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 your mama. You know what I'm saying? And then this is another thing. This game at home was like amazing to have. It's my son right there, young Master Pelpa. This at home was like I said, no quarters. Like I can fucking play all night and it's not gonna cost me a dime. And you know, I was probably in high school when this came out on the NES, but it was good enough for me then, and it was good enough for me now. All right, I picked this up from, where did I get this one? Was it last year's con? East Bay Con? From Back at Cave and Toys. The guy Mike over there is a really cool motherfucker. Shout out to him. Check him out in Santa Rosa, Back Cave Comics and Toys. Be on the lookout for a future vid featuring that store and an interview. I just talked to him Saturday, and most likely I'm going to be doing it Wednesday. So be on the lookout for that. Russian Attack. Another game on the NES that I loved. I always felt like the graphics were shitty as fuck. But I love those fucking Rottweilers running up on you, and you can fucking vato loco those bitch ass niggas. Oops, sorry guys, I didn't mean to say that. N-word, you can blank it out, whatever. We don't call it the N-word. Anyway. Fuck, where did I get this? I know this is a recent pickup. This has to be Solano Flea Market. When I'm there with my wife, you know, we like to just take breaks and walk around and see what you can pick up there as well as while I'm selling. I mean, sometimes I'll pick up a Wii and put it right on my table and sell it, you know what I'm saying? So it's all good. Operation Wolf, I don't remember this game too well. I believe it's the same kind of Russian Attack, side-scrolling, shooting guys, jumping over bullets, probably shit. Alright, my dude. And then got this at the flea market. Definitely, I think I got it for a good deal, like $4 or $5. The guy, he sells his games at pretty much like an eBay price, Mexican cat. But he'll show me some love on some games. Not like he's not gonna budge on Mario Kart Double Dash, but he'll be like, oh, you know, like, all right, you know, you fuck, all right, man, because he likes to come over, and he remembers me before I had a shop. I used to just hunt, and I used to be the gimme for $1 motherfucker, man. So and they hated me, but I would break these mother. Watch my original vid, you'll see that I was a dollar go getter. We would go up in that bitch with $14 and walk out with some swag. I mean, seriously, walk out with games, Constantine, things of that nature. But we're walking out with games. I'm watching videos like the Game Chasers, and they're going up in these spots and they're searching garbage and they're not finding nothing. While your boy was up in there for Dawa picking up good titles. Go check it out, man. It's some of my original work. Birthday Blowout. I don't remember this one, but I'm a fucking big fan of Looney Tunes. I don't really show it as much as I used to as a kid in high school. I used to wear a lot of Looney Tunes shirts and shit. And used to be into it big time. But you would think because the things that I'm into, I like to show them a lot, like through posters and whatnot. But really, it doesn't show that I like Looney Tunes as much as I really do. So maybe I should go loony on niggas. Fester's Quest, a great game, top view, almost kind of well, quest, like adventure game. You're shooting, you're finding upgrades on your weapon. You can make it fucking go from single bullet to double bullets and things like that. If I remember, it was fun. I remember being okay at it. Pro wrestling. I used to play this in elementary. Amazon Man or Mr. Amazon, I'm not sure. He's like a green fish dude and he would bite motherfuckers on the head. Gang, 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 gang. I used to always pick him. Alright. I believe this is another. This is a beat to death. That's a crispy Castlevania. This is a beat Castlevania. I probably picked this up for $1 in from one of those videos. That's available. I'll fucking sell this for $1 to somebody out there who wants it. It works too. Batman. Now I remember picking this up for about $30 to $40 with a couple other games. This, I think it was DuckTales, TC Surfing, and something else. And I had to pay about $30 for him because he wasn't budging. But then through mouthpiecing and kind of chiseling away at that sculpture and be creating something great, I was able to get him to throw this in for just a few extra bucks because he would like I said, like I worked on him and he was like, all right, cool, come on. But when you do me love like that, you're establishing great business with me. I always return because I never forget a favor. So this one's sweet. Bionic Commando. I love this fucking game with the arm. And you get pretty good with that commando arm. You could do some pretty cool moves. You know what I mean? You find one of those pillars. And you're like letting go. And then grabbing and letting go. I used to be doing shit like that. This is dope because it's got the Nintendo sleeve. Everybody go to shitty game Top Gun. In my opinion, one of my favorite games as a kid. I used to go to my real dad's house. I don't mean to say real dad. I mean my dad's house. And he always had a NES. And my little brother had this. And I love playing it. I love the refuel challenge. I love being able to fucking, playing it sucked. The missiles were so crappy. But I mean, at the time, what did we have? And I love the whole challenge of fucking being able to be a pro and land that bitch. And of course, I was a huge fan of Top Gun. And I felt some need for fucking speed. Alright, so Super Spike V-Ball. This is another one I got, I think, for in that bundle where it was a little expensive in my book. But I paid for crispiness and a great game. I love this fucking game. TNC Surfing. Another game I played in elementary while we had a Master System. I'm going across the street to my little Filipino partner's house because his older brother used to have a job and a cool car, and he had a NES, and he can afford it in the projects because he had a job. They were a Filipino family, and they lived mad deep in there like Mexicans. They all worked, so they had money. We lived, shitty on the outside. You were inside the house. They kept it clean. They're good people. I'd always get welcomed in. His moms would feed me. They're great people. They're like Latinos, and I got love for me some Pinoys. Anyway, I would play this at his house along with pro wrestling. And this game is sick because you could do surfing or you could do skateboarding, and I think there's a third one. But the wrestling, the skateboarding was hella hard to control in the beginning. But once you got used to it, you could do some fucking you could do some dope shit on it. And then the surfing was all right, but it was fun. It was TNC Surfing. It was like a cool kind of clothing line, if I'm not remember back in the day, like the skaters were into it. I lived in the project, so we didn't skateboard and we didn't say gnarly, but this was as gnarly as I got. DuckTales, what can I say? Duck fucking tails. All right, now we're getting into some hardcore gaming here. Oh, look at this. Mutant League Football. Is this Genesis? What system is this? This is Genesis. All right, cool. Found that in my nest spot. My nest little tucked away nest thing. Oh, check this out. Game Shark for the Game Boy Pocket. Or one of those fucks. And then we got a couple of Game Boy games. I thought these were in the Game Boy shelf. These are not in the Game Boy shelf. Casino. Yoshi's Cookie Crisp. Crisp because of the condition. Empire Strikes Back, pretty crisp. Those are going. I'll do tomorrow. I'll do a Game Boy game and handheld games collection video. Damn, bro, I need to hit the weights. I haven't worked out in the hella long. Look how fat my arms are. Anyway, that you can get rid of that in a month. I just am lazy, so I don't really give a fuck. I'm not gonna show that. I'll show that one last. That's my one. Okay, so these two are cool. The reason I picked them up because honestly I never knew that these came separately, and then for the price I paid, they came in these sick ass Nintendo cases. Mario Brothers all by itself, okay, and then Duck Hunt all by itself in this cool ass Nintendo case. Now. That's those bad boys. And you know what you gonna do. You know what you gonna do when I pooge on you. Alright, so this is my last one. I might have one or two floating around somewhere maybe. But this is my crown jewel of my NES collection. So far, in this condition, I love it. I don't give a fuck about boxed shit because I can't afford that, and maybe one day I'll get into that. But in these cases, in this condition, this is holy grail type shit for me. Metal Gear. Soak it in, motherfuckers. Metal Gear. Now, my son Sal is a huge Metal Gear fan, as well as everybody in the house. And he doesn't consider this the actual original Metal Gear. And it's not, technically. The other one is on some computer system I keep forgetting the name of. But for me, this is Metal Gear. Now, okay, now. I played this as a kid, and it wasn't a big deal for me. I didn't really like it, so I knew this game existed. But when Metal Gear Solid came out, I lived in Sacramento, California. My wife worked at Target, and she would, every check, let me pick out a game. And so one day I was just sitting there, I only get one game. Mom's only get me one game. And there's this game, Metal Gear Solid. Now, I think I was going back and forth with that and Madden or something at the time. So that would probably be like Madden 98. Right? Metal Gear came out, what, 97, bro?
Yeah.
So it would be 98. So, title, Metal Gear Solid. Cover, all white. What the fuck is this? I don't know what the fuck this game is. I don't know what the fuck this game is. I'm looking on the back. I'm reading it. Espionage. There's like 2 pictures on the back. I can't really tell if this is going to be good or if it's going to be shit. And what is it? $50 plus. And it said 2 games, a double disc. That's what bought me. That's what sold it. I'm like, well, it's two double discs. It's got two discs. It's a lot of game, or it's two games in one. It's double your money. And I take it home, and I still am looking for a piece of my mind and brain that blew out back then, because it blew my fucking mind. And not only that, it blew my wife's mind, because I would play and she would sit down and watch, because she said it was like a movie and the story was very intriguing. And so later on, a few years later, I put it one and one together, and I get that, whoa, wait, this is tied into that. This is Metal Gear 1. So I've always had I always liked that this game was Metal Gear. If you look at the cover art, in my opinion, the guy looks like Reese from Term T1. And that's dope. I can deal with that. So, okay, guys. 46-minute video. I didn't have anybody join live that I know of, because I didn't see any comments. If you did, I'm sorry if I didn't acknowledge you. Thanks for watching. If anybody really takes time and watch this whole video, I appreciate it. I mean, it should be good for what it's worth. If you want to just throw it on and watch, you ain't got shit to watch. Like, say, there's no beat 'em ups vid. There's no RGT vid. There's no fucking Metal Jesus vid. There's no Pixel Game Squad vid. There's no Game Chasers vid. There's no CJR vid. There's no J Love 89 vid. There's no vids to watch. Slap on that CDAD and get busy. God bless. Thanks for everyone watching. You can check out anything that I have for sale. Instagram, Kaziba Zone, but that I need to update that. You got to go to Let Go, Offer Up, or excuse me. You got to go to eBay. My name is Juan Izag. Juan_Izag, and then the Cobradad Electric are the other ones. So if you got this far in this video, I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I'm out.